Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was directed by James Gunn and it stars everyone. And this movie takes place after Avengers Endgame, Thor Love and Thunder, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. So in this movie, the Guardians of the Galaxy are leaving nowhere for a little bit to go on this mission until Rocket is going through a tough situation, so they have to save him, which is this mission is very important. But if that fails, this could lead to the end of the Guardians for good, and now we got our movie. So technically, the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is one of my most anticipated movies of this year, is because I was really excited since I seen the trailers, I seen the TV spots, the posters. I was so excited for this movie. Now, I did rewatch the first movie and the second movie on Disney Plus leading up to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, so I'm gladly I did that. And let me tell you, I heard this was going to be the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie from James Gunn, who's now going to DC, to do some projects, which I'm probably looking forward to, depending on which project I'm really, really excited for DC. And so what do I think of this movie so far? This movie was awesome. And this movie was probably better than Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I loved Quantumania. I give it some love, but there was some corny moments I did not like about that movie. There was some stuff that I liked, some stuff I didn't like about that film. But with this movie in particular, this movie was a lot better than Quantumania. So technically, this movie was freaking awesome. This is like one of the best movies, but not as good as the first movie. Well, mostly the first movie for that matter. But the thing is, I still love this movie. There's some stuff that I like, some stuff I don't like about this movie, but I will talk about the positives. The positive thing about this movie feels like it saved the MCU just a little bit. It saved the Marvel Cinematic Universe a little bit due to Quantumania, due to some projects that got due to some projects that got ruined from the pandemic. Blame the pandemic. It's the pandemic's fault that our movies got ruined. Quantumania got ruined. This movie was not ruined. So I was like, ooh, that was close. But I was a little worried that this movie was going to suck. But no, this movie was awesome. But I heard some stuff that some people they like and don't like. I said, okay, I'm going to watch the movie. And then I did like some things I like, some stuff I don't like, but I think that's it for that. So let's talk about the actors and the characters themselves. Let's start off with who should we start with? Let's start off with Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon. Now, this movie is basically, he's sort of like the main character of this movie due to his flashbacks. Now, let me tell you, Rocket Raccoon has been going through a tough situation because we do get some flashbacks here and there. We get some like flashbacks, some other flashback. We get some flashback moments of him. We do get some explanation of how he got his own name, which I won't talk about. Go watch the movie yourselves. And the movie does see some explanation of why he doesn't want to talk about his backstory or his past, because he's like, yeah, because the reason why he probably doesn't want to talk about it is mainly because he might get traumatized from his past. Because, all the past stuff that he's been going through from his flashback, the High Evolutionary created Rocket. Rocket was all like, yeah, High Evolutionary didn't like the way things went perfect or something like that. But then I thought the flashbacks for Rocket was pretty interesting, but it felt dark. There were some moments that were very hard to watch, and I'm like, whoa, yeah, that was pretty dark. And then the thing is, that's all I know. So, Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon, and I gotta tell you, he's really good in this movie, so I'm definitely gonna miss Rocket. He's really good here. So I guess that's it for Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon. And next up is Chris Pratt as Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord. And Star-Lord has been with the Guardians of the Galaxy since the events of the first movie. And now he's still with the Guardians today. And he leads the Guardians. And I gotta tell you, I do love the suits. The suits that the Guardians, including Star-Lord, wears looks comic book accurate, because I do look up the comic book accuracy of the suits, which I did, and I was like, okay, this is comic book accurate. But the thing is, he doesn't have the Gamora that we all know to love. The Gamora that we know to love has died in Avengers Infinity War, and the other Gamora, now the Gamora from the past, from 2014, which I believe took place before the events of the first movie, he's like, yeah, dude, you're not my Gamora, and he's just trying to probably talk to her or something, but then he wants to go on this mission. The only thing he cares about is saving Rocket. The only thing he cares about is saving Rocket and stop the High Evolutionary, and that's all I know for now, and that's pretty much it. And Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, really good in this movie, and I'm definitely going to miss him as well. So I guess that's it for Star-Lord. And next up is Dave Bautista as Drax. Now, I heard that Dave Bautista is not playing Drax anymore, so I don't know. All I know is he's not playing Drax anymore, which I'm like, oh man, he's not playing Drax anymore, but I mean, Dave Bautista is really good as Drax. He was really good in the first movie. He was good in the second movie, including in this one. This guy is, Drax is really funny in this movie. There were some moments that made me laugh. There were some moments I was like, okay, Drax, I get it. So, Drax is, with Drax in this movie, he's sort of like a badass in this movie. And I do like the suit that he's wearing. The outfits that the Guardians wear, they're really cool to wear, including for Drax. He does have awesome chemistry with. He had awesome chemistry with Mantis in the second movie, including in this movie. So I guess him and Mantis have awesome chemistry together, and they feel like brother sister to each other or something like that. Or mostly best friends to each other. So I guess that's it for that. And Dave Bautista is really good as Drax, and I'm definitely gonna miss him. And that's it for Dave Bautista as Drax. And next up is Palm Clementif as Mantis. Now the thing is, Mantis does because of Mantis, her power is to touch people and feel their feelings, or probably like, yeah, here, just change your mind or something like that, and probably changes people's minds. And her powers were pretty cool. And she does have some really interesting moments that I like. In some moments, I was like, okay, I get it, Mantis. But she did make me laugh. She did make me laugh quite a bit. And her and Drax do have awesome chemistry throughout the film. And she helps the Guardians trying to complete this mission to save Rocket. And for Palm Clementif as Mantis, like I said, she's really good in this movie, and I'm definitely going to miss her as well. And I think that's it for Mantis. And next up is Zoe Saldana as Gamora. Now, Gamora is with Gamora, this is not our Gamora. Like I said, the Gamora that died in Avengers, the Gamora that we know to love died in Avengers Infinity War, thanks to Thanos. Way to go, Thanos. But this Gamora is actually from 2014, which I'm like, so this Gamora probably came from the events of the first movie, so I don't know if this Gamora, I know she came from 2014, but I don't know, this one took place before the events of the first movie or after the events of the first movie, I don't know, but to me it takes place, mostly, she was probably in before the events of the first movie, so she doesn't even know who Peter Quill is, she doesn't even know who the Guardians are, because she never met any of the Guardians of the Galaxy since the events of the first movie, so she does have awesome chemistry with the characters, and I think that's it for that, and she also want to help the Guardians complete this mission as well. And for Zoe Saldana as Gamora, I'm definitely going to miss her as well. And I think that's it for Gamora. And next up is Karen Gillan as Nebula. Now, Nebula, I really like Nebula in this movie. So, I like Nebula in the Marvel Cinematic Universe since the events of the first movie and second movie, including Avengers Infinity War, Endgame, and this movie, and Thor: Love and Thunder. She's really good in the MCU. Now, she is a robot. She does have this gunmetal silver arm that she uses she does use for her weapons, which is really cool. And she's a badass in this movie. But when she gets broken up, she just fixes herself back together. And she helps the Guardians to complete this mission as well. And Karen Gillan as Nebula is really good in this movie. Do I like her in this movie? Yeah, she was actually pretty good in this movie. And I think that's it for Nebula. And next up is Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel as Groot. I am Groot. And Groot looks a lot like I gotta tell you, this guy is all buffed up. Cool, right? So the thing is, Groot, he does say "I'm Groot" throughout the movie. He says "I'm Groot, I'm Groot, I'm Groot" because that's. I know he says "I'm Groot" as mostly as his vocabulary as something like that, but. And Groot, I gotta tell you, I really like the fact that Groot was. I mean, I know we get tired of teenage Groot since the events of, I believe, the last time we saw teenage Groot was during the events of one of the post-credit scenes of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, during the events of Avengers Infinity War, Endgame, and I know, and Thor Love and Thunder, but I know some people are like, yeah, we're tired of the whole Teen Groot thing, and now we get grown-up Groot in this movie. And I really like the fact that he has awesome chemistry with the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's all I'm gonna say for that. Vin Diesel is really good in this movie as Groot. Now, I'm not sure if I am gonna see Fast X, Fast 10, Fast and Furious 10. I am gonna see. Okay, I'm gonna say, well, if Fast X is great, I'm gonna go watch the movie. If it's not, then I don't know. I mean, I might check it out. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out, see if the movie's any good or not. But yeah, Vin Diesel is really good here as Groot, and that's all I can say for Groot. And next up is as Will Poulter as Adam Warlock. Now, picture this: Adam Warlock is. I gotta tell you, I really like Adam Warlock, but there were some moments I'm like, oh my god, please stop. I mean, from what I heard, that Adam Warlock is gonna be in his infant form, which I have no idea why. I mean, I'm thinking, was he in his... I don't know if he was in infant form or kid form in the Marvel comics. I mean, I don't read the comics. But Will Poulter, from what I heard from people, like, oh yeah, he played in that movie, We're the Millers. He played in that stupid movie, We're the Millers, which I'm like, yeah, that movie was... I didn't like that movie. I didn't like We're the Millers. But he was also in the Maze Runner movies. But in this movie, since he worked out and got all buffed up, now he plays Adam Warlock, so I guess we'll be seeing Adam Warlock at least more for the MCU, depending on which project he's in. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. The thing is about Adam Warlock is he is Adam Warlock is grown up, but he's in his baby infant form, which I'm like, why? I mean, I don't know if that was in the comics, but in the movie, I'm like, okay. I mean, Adam Warlock is a badass in this movie. He's sort of like a golden version of Superman, the way he wears his outfit. The outfit that he wears is badass. I love the outfit, even though I do have the... Excuse me. I do have the Marvel Legends MCU figure of Adam Warlock over there, and now seeing him in the movie in live action. It's so great to see him in live action since we're introduced to him in the MCU. Will Poulter is really good in this movie, and I kind of liked him in this movie a lot more than he was in We're the Millers. But in this movie, he was a lot better. But there was some stuff that I like about him, some stuff I did not like about Adam Warlock. But Adam Warlock was really cool. I mean, I didn't have any issues with the character, but there were some problems I had with the character as well. And I think that's it for Will Poulter's Adam Warlock. And last but not least is Chuck Woodio Awuji as the High Evolutionary. Now I'm looking at the High Evolutionary. I did look up the High Evolutionary, and I was like, I was expecting the High Evolutionary to be comic book accurate, but no. This is the High Evolutionary that we're looking at in the MCU. Yeah, because we're introduced to him in the MCU, and the thing is, the High Evolutionary is in one of a bunch of flashbacks from Rocket's flashbacks, because he created Rocket. He didn't like the way things. Because the way he created Rocket, he didn't like the way things were perfect for him, but the way things went perfect for him when he created him. And now, the thing is, I kind of like this villain. I kind of like him as a main. I kind of like him as a villain more than Adam Warlock, but the High Evolutionary felt like an actual villain. He was in rage mode. This guy was no joke, but I kind of liked him. And because of Kang the Conqueror in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, played by Jonathan Majors in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, he was an awesome villain. But I feel like with the High Evolutionary and Kang, they were both awesome villains. Including with this villain, he was an awesome bad guy. And he does feel like an actual villain. So I guess that's mostly for him. So with Chuck Woodio as Awuji as the High Evolutionary is the best badass villain I ever seen in the MCU. And I gotta say, he's really good. And I think that's it for the High Evolutionary. And that's it for the actors and the characters themselves. Now, talk about the action in this movie. The action in this movie is pretty darn cool. I love all the action in this movie. There was some action sequences I like, some action sequences that were pretty damn awesome. And the final battle in this movie, I love the final battle in the first movie, the second movie, including in this one. But there was some final battle moments. I was like, yeah, it could have been laid out a little bit, but there was some the pacing for the action is awesome. Now, with the action sequences, like I said, they're pretty cool. But the visuals in this movie are freaking awesome. I kind of love the visuals in this movie than they were in Thor: Love and Thunder and some other projects that had the worst visual effects. I do understand that with some of the visuals, I do respect them for trying with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, the visual creators who are responsible to do the visual effects for the MCU. I do respect them for trying, but the visuals in here were no freaking joke. The visuals in this movie are freaking awesome. I love all the visual effects in this movie. They were pretty cool. I kind of love the visual effects in this movie than I liked them in Thor: Love and Thunder and some from Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. There were some ones I like, some ones I don't like, and some ones I was like, they could have been cleaned up a little bit. But the visuals in this movie were a lot more real, cleaned up than they were in some other MCU projects that had some visual effects that could have been better. So, the stuff that I did not like about this movie, there was some... Now, we do get some flashbacks. I get about the flashbacks. I'm like, yeah, we've seen some flashbacks many times. There were some flashbacks that I was like, whoa, where did this come from? Where did this flashback come from? Now, the only thing that I was like, wait, why can't we just watch the rest? I mean, we've seen flashbacks many times. I totally understand we see the flashbacks that has to do with Rocket's backstory. I get it. But I was like, man, can we just stick with the main story here, the main premise here, what's going on? So... the thing is, one of the things I didn't... So, with the flashbacks, I do love the flashbacks. I feel like the flashbacks were taking over the film a little bit. So, yeah, the flashbacks need some less time. We need some less time with the flashbacks. There was some flashbacks... Yeah, the flashbacks need some less time and more focus on the Guardians a little bit. Just a little bit. Because we need to focus on the mission of how to save Rocket. Now, even though if the mission fails, then the Guardians of the Galaxy, this could be the end. For them. It means they're done. It's over. There's nothing they can do or something like that. But the thing is, the movie didn't feel rushed. I mean, there was some stuff that I was like, yeah, they gotta slow down. There was some stuff that felt rushed. There was some stuff that felt like, okay, they took their time to slow things down. And then they rushed through just a little bit. But James Gunn, he did a really good job with the directing of this movie. So I'm really gonna miss him doing like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, since he's going to head over to DC and most of the other actors who played these characters. I am going to miss the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going to miss these guys so much. So, there were some moments I cried, some moments I did not cry through. But I guess that's it. And I think that's it for this movie review for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And I'm going to miss all these characters, and we all know the love from the past couple of years since the events of the first movie in 2014. So, the Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm going to miss you guys so much. I'm going to miss you guys. So, I guess that's it for this movie review for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And I think that's about it. Nothing much else to say. So, be sure to like, subscribe, press the notification button, follow me on Instagram, comment down below. And I'll see you on my next video. Thank you for watching.